What happens when the world of academia collides with the world of international politics? The answer, my friends, is a whirlwind of events that have been unfolding on university campuses across the United States. Picture this. It's late April 2024. University campuses, known for their tranquil atmosphere and studious inhabitants, are suddenly transformed into battlegrounds of ideology. At the heart of the storm is the Israel-Gaza conflict, and the students at Columbia University are leading the charge. They're not just wielding pens and textbooks, they're demanding divestment from Israeli companies and those with ties to Israel. They've even broken into a campus building. It's like a scene out of a movie, but there's no director yelling, "Cut!" here. Now, these protests aren't just some isolated event. They're reminiscent of past successful movements at Columbia. But this time around, the geopolitical environment and the university's stance on divestment are throwing a wrench in the gears. Meanwhile, over at Washington University in St. Louis, Missouri, things are really heating up. Green Party presidential candidate Jill Stein, out collecting signatures for her 2024 campaign, winds up in handcuffs. She's arrested at a pro-Palestinian protest and charged with assaulting a police officer. She's not just running for president, she's running straight into controversy. Fast forward a few days, and the protests have spread like wildfire. At UCLA and Columbia University, pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli protesters clash. The police have to step in and arrests are made. It's a situation so tense you could cut it with a knife. Throughout all this, President Joe Biden maintains a clear stance. The National Guard should not intervene in campus protests, free speech and the rule of law must be upheld, and violent demonstrations are condemned. He's like a conductor trying to keep the orchestra in tune while the music score is being rewritten on the fly. But even as cleanup begins at the UCLA protest encampment and the dust begins to settle, the echoes of these protests continue to reverberate. They've drawn criticism and support from various political and financial figures. It's clear that the situation in 2024 has made it harder for demonstrators to achieve their goals compared to past movements. So, what have we learned from this tumultuous chapter? Campus protests have become a major platform for voicing international political concerns. They've put the spotlight on the Israel-Gaza conflict and they've stirred up a hornet's nest of controversy. But the real question is, what will the lasting impact be? Will these protests lead to meaningful change or will they simply fade into the annals of university history? Only time will tell. In the meantime, grab your popcorn and stay tuned because this is one drama that's far from over. Ever wonder why Mother Nature just can't resist shaking things up in sunny California? Well, the latest dance move she's pulled is a magnitude 4.1 earthquake that hit Corona, California. The incident occurred on the first day of May, right after lunch. I guess the Earth wanted to digest a bit more vigorously than usual. The epicenter was located in the Santa Ana Mountains near Corona, a spot known for its scenic beauty and now for its seismic activities. The earthquake affected areas like Anaheim and Santa Ana, causing a mini heartquake for the residents. The good news? The earthquake caused minimal damage, proving that Californians are as tough as the state's legendary redwoods. This earthquake happened near the Elsinore Fault. You might ask, fault? What fault? Well, it's not like someone left the oven on. It's a geological fault, and it's not the first time it's been the culprit. It's like that one friend who always causes trouble at parties. The Shake Alert Earthquake Early Warning System estimated a magnitude as high as 4.5, but no alerts were sent. Why, you ask? Because the system apparently has a threshold for drama, and a magnitude of 4.5 just doesn't cut it. The wireless emergency alert system only bothers to wake up for earthquakes of magnitude 5 and above. Talk about being selective. While the Earth was doing its shake, rattle, and roll, residents were advised to follow safety protocols during earthquakes. These include the timeless classics, drop, cover, and hold on, and stay away from glass, windows, outside doors and walls, and anything that could fall. And if you experience this earth jitter, the USGS wants to hear from you. No, they're not making a blockbuster movie about it, they're just collecting data. In summary, this recent quake was like a surprise party from Mother Nature. The guests, residents of Corona, Anaheim, and Santa Ana, were a bit rattled, but overall, everyone got through it without much fuss. And the Elsinore Fault? Well, it continues to be the life of the party. Stay tuned for more of Mother Nature's unexpected shindigs.
All right, folks, gather around for a tale as old as time. Well, not really, but it's definitely one for the books. Picture this. You've hired a DEI trainer to educate your team on cultural competency and pronoun use. But instead of sticking to the script, they've decided to share a bit too much about their personal life. And by a bit too much, I mean they've turned the training into a tell-all about their kinky identity. Yes, you heard it right. It's a case of TMI, too much information. Now, don't get me wrong. There's a time and place for everything, but a professional setting where you're supposed to be learning about diversity, equity, and inclusion might not be the best place to discuss your personal kinks. It's like bringing a full-course meal to a juice cleanse party. It just doesn't fit. But the story doesn't end there. The employees, understandably confused and uncomfortable, are grappling with how to provide feedback without shaming. It's like trying to tell your friend that they've got spinach stuck in their teeth. A delicate situation indeed. Some might say, why not just hire an in-house DEI manager? Well, that's a great idea. It's like hiring a personal trainer instead of trying to navigate the gym by yourself. The DEI manager would ensure a more inclusive and respectful workplace environment and hopefully stick to the topic at hand. Now, this story might seem unusual, but it's an important reminder. Whether you're a DEI trainer or a software engineer, remember to keep it professional in the workplace. Don't turn your presentation into a personal diary entry. It's like showing up to a black tie event in pajamas. Sure, it might be comfortable, but it's definitely not appropriate. So, to recap, if you're a DEI trainer, focus on teaching about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Don't overshare about your personal life. And if you're an employee who's uncomfortable, find a way to provide constructive feedback. It's like navigating a minefield. Proceed with caution. And finally, if you're in a position to hire an in-house DEI manager, consider it. It might just save you from another TMI situation. Remember, folks, it's a workplace, not a reality show. And that's the tale of the oversharing DEI trainer. It's a story filled with confusion, discomfort, and a bit of humor. But most importantly, it's a reminder to keep it professional, folks. Because no one wants to hear about your kinks while they're trying to learn about pronouns.